welcome you all to the annual Inter-House Mathematics Quiz 2025. Today, we celebrate not just numbers and logic, but teamwork, quick thinking, and the joy of problem solving. We have with us the brilliant minds of grade 4, 5, and 6 representing their respective houses. Each house is represented by 3 students, one from each grade, forming a team that will battle across 3 exciting rounds. Let's begin by inviting our participants to introduce themselves.
Good, af- Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shiv Singh Dhillon from Nilgiri 4 from Nalanda.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Havirat Baboria from Class 6 Satpura from Nalanda.
Good afternoon. My name is Hasrat Garewal. I'm from Class 5 Andes and I'm from Nalanda.
Good afternoon. My name is Bhavya. I'm from Class 5 Karakoram, representing Vikramshila.
Good afternoon, I am Pravedita from grade 6 Hindukush and I am a proud Vikramshilian.
Good afternoon, I am Udyansh Goyal. I am from Ural 4. I am from Vikramshila.
Good afternoon, I am Kiara Khemani from grade 6 Himalaya from Taxila.
Good afternoon. I am Madhav from 4 Appalachian Taxila.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Ahan Mehta from 5 Atlas. I am a Taxilian.
Good afternoon, I'm Zoya Anand from 6 Andes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Vasesh from 4 Andes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Anhalbir Singh from Class 5 Shivalik.
Thank you. The quiz will contain 3 rounds: the multiple choice round, the second, the buzzer round, and the third round will be a rapid fire round. We'll start with the multiple choice round. Please note the rules for this round. Each house will get 2 questions to answer. Each question carries 2 marks, and the teams will get 45 seconds to answer each question. I hope the rules are clear. For Team 1, Nalanda House, your first question is, Leena started her homework at 4:45 p.m. She spent 35 minutes on math, took a 10-minute break, and then spent 50 minutes on science. At what time did Leena finish all her homework? A, 6:15 p.m., B, 6:20 p.m.
Option B, 6:20 p.m.
That's the correct answer. Moving on to Team 2, which is Vikramshila House. How many diagonals are there in the given figure? A, 3, B, 4, C, 6, or D, 5?
5.
That is the correct answer. Moving on to Team 3, Taxila House. Which fraction is the smallest of all? A, 2 upon 6, B, 2 upon 7, C, 2 upon 5, or D, 2 upon 4?
B, 2 upon 7.
That is the correct answer. Moving on to Team 4, Kandhara House. What type of angle is formed by the hands of the clock? A, reflex angle, B, left angle, C, obtuse angle, or D, acute angle?
A, reflex angle.
That is the correct answer. We have the next question for Team 1, Nalanda House. June has stamps from different countries. 1/4 of them are Indian stamps. If she has 18 Indian stamps, how many stamps does she have in total? A. 32.
Option B, 72.
That is the incorrect answer. The correct answer is D. 108. It is the correct answer. The answer is 72B. Moving on to team 2, your second question is, a water tank can hold 15 liters of water. If a small bucket holds 2.5 liters, how many full buckets of water can fill the tank? A, 4, B, 7, C, 5, or D, 6?
6.
That's the correct answer. The second question for team 3, Taxila. A triangular garden has a base of 8 meters and a height of 6 meters. What is the area of the garden? A, 48 meters, B, 24 meters, C, 24 square meters, or D, 48 square meters?
D, 48 square meters.
That is the incorrect answer. The correct answer is C, 24 square meters. The second question for team 4, Gandhara House. Which of the following options will complete the pattern in the given figure? A being 1, B 2, C 3, or D 4?
D, 4.
That is the correct answer. With this, we conclude our first round. Can we have a huge round of applause for all the teams? We will now move on to round 2, which is the buzzer round. Please note the rules of this round. 2 marks will be awarded for every correct answer, and 1 mark will be deducted for an incorrect answer. Can all the teams please check their buzzers once? Team 1, 2, Taxila, and Gandhara. All right, we'll begin with team 1, Nalanda House. Oh, right, my bad. The first question is, list all the factors of 12. Gandhara House, team 4.
1, 2, 3, 6, and 12. And 4.
That's the correct answer. We move on to the next question. State the next equivalent fraction in the sequence below. Taxila House.
8 by 20.
That is the correct answer. The next question. The breadth and the length of a rectangle are in the ratio 4:7. What will be the length if the breadth changes to 20? Vikramshila House.
35.
That is the correct answer. Question 4. The perimeter of the shape below is dash units. Nalanda House.
23 units.
That is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. Correct the formula. The area of a triangle is h upon b into 2. Vikramshila House.
Half height into breadth.
That is
Into base. Base.
That is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. True or false? 22 upon 9 is 3.141592. Team
False.
Taxila.
False.
That is the correct answer. The next question. The area of a rectangular piece of board is 240 square meters and its breadth is 4 meters. What is its length?
60 meters.
That is the correct answer. Now for the final question of this round. The square root of 225 is Nalanda.
15.
That is the correct answer. Let's have a quick look at the score so far. We'll move on to the third round, which is the rapid fire round. The rules of this round are that each house will be given a set of 5 questions to answer within 1 minute. Once you have attempted all the questions, if there is any time remaining, the questions that you had passed will be repeated, giving you another chance to attempt. Each question carries 2 marks and there will be no negative marking. I repeat, if you don't know the answer to a question, you may pass to move to the next question. We'll begin with Team 1, Nalanda House. Your first question is, what is 3 upon
7
8?
upon 8.
What is the place value of 7 in the number 7428?
Thousands.
Which is smaller, 6.52 or
6.253.
What is the sum of all the angles of a triangle?
180 degrees.
The square of 13 is?
169.
We will now have the answers. The team only had 1 incorrect answer, that is the second question.
This team said 1,000, not 7,000, so that's an incorrect answer. The place value is 7,000.
We'll now have the rapid fire for Team 2, Vikramshila House. Round of 23.1567.
23.2.
Can you please repeat your answer?
23.
The second number in a ratio is known as the?
Consequent.
What is the LCM of 8 and 12?
Pass.
What do you multiply to find the volume of a triangular prism?
L into B into H, length into breadth into height.
What is 0.3 as a fraction?
Pass.
What is
question.
the LCM of 8 and 12?
24.
Can we please have the answers now?
But they have answered all the questions. No, they have. So we'll ask them a question again. We have some extra questions. We'll ask them a question.
All right. What is the?
Later, we'll ask them the question later when we go to the last slide. Okay? Don't worry. So out of 5, they did not, so we'll answer, but one answer was incorrect. When they said length into breadth into height, it is actually half the length and breadth into height. Area of a triangular. It's triangular base, beta, not a rectangular base. 3 correct answer with 1 more question to be asked.
We'll move on to Taxila House. How many maximum ways can you get 100 in the category multiplication?
Pass.
The greatest common factor of 91 and 13 is?
7.
What is greater, 7.5 or 7.5 upon 100?
Seven, 5 upon 100.
Identify the surface part of the circle.
Sector.
Name a quadrilateral with no line of symmetry.
Trapezium.
How many maximum ways can you get 100 in the category multiplication? We will now have the answers for this round. The team only had one correct answer. We will now move on to Team 4, Gandhara House. The LCM of 100, 150 and 200 is?
Pass.
How many hundreds make 10,000?
1,000.
What is the sum of all the angles of a rhombus?
Pass.
Round off 2.7478 to 2 decimal places.
Pass. Pass.
What is the function of the given blue line? I request the audience to please maintain silence. The team was not able to answer any questions in this round. Can we please have the answers?
So one question that we need to ask to Nalanda team. Vikramshila, sorry. May we have the next slide, please, for extra questions? What is the ratio of 2
1 by
to
3.
6 in the simplest form?
1 by 3.
That's the correct answer.
Can we please have the scores now, ma'am?
So at the end of the this first 4 to 6 round, we have House 1, that is Nalanda with 18 points. House 2, this is Vikramshila with 16 points. Then the third house got 8 points, and Gandhara with 6 points.
I request the participants of grades 4, 5 and 6 to please be seated in the auditorium. An interesting video on the known mathematicians and mathematics facts.
In the world of math, many strange results are possible when we change the rules. But there's one rule that most of us have been warned not to break. Don't divide by How can this simple combination of an everyday number and a basic operation cause such problems? Normally, dividing by smaller and smaller numbers gives you bigger and bigger answers. 10 divided by 2 is 5, by 1 is 10, by 1 millionth is 10 million, and so on. So it seems like if you divide by numbers that keep shrinking all the way down to 0, the answer will grow to the largest thing possible. Then isn't the answer to 10 divided by 0 actually infinity? That may sound plausible, but all we really know is that if we divide 10 by a number that tends towards 0, the answer tends towards infinity. And that's not the same thing as saying that 10 divided by 0 is equal to infinity. Why not? Well, let's take a closer look at what division really means. 10 divided by 2 could mean how many times must we add 2 together to make 10? Or 2 times what equals 10? Dividing by a number is essentially the reverse of multiplying by it in the following way. If we multiply any number by a given number x, we can ask if there's a new number we can multiply by afterwards to get back to where we started. If there is, the new number is called the multiplicative inverse of x. For example, if you multiply 3 by 2 to get 6, you can then multiply by 1/2 to get back to 3. So the multiplicative inverse of 2 is 1/2, and the multiplicative inverse of 10 is 1/10. As you might notice, the product of any number and its multiplicative inverse is always 1. If we want to divide by 0, we need to find its multiplicative inverse, which should be 1/0. This would have to be such a number that multiplying it by 0 would give 1. But because anything multiplied by 0 is still 0, such a number is impossible. So 0 has no multiplicative inverse. Does that really settle things, though? After all, mathematicians have broken rules before. For example, for a long time there was no such thing as taking the square root of negative numbers. But then mathematicians defined the square root of -1 as a new number called I, opening up a whole new mathematical world of complex numbers. So if they can do that, couldn't we just make up a new rule? Say that the symbol infinity means 1/0 and see what happens? Let's try it, imagining we don't know anything about infinity already. Based on the definition of a multiplicative inverse, 0 times infinity must be equal to 1. That means 0 times infinity plus 0 times infinity should equal 2. Now, by the distributive property, the left side of the equation can be rearranged to 0 plus 0 times infinity. And since 0 plus 0 is definitely 0, that reduces down to 0 times infinity. Unfortunately, we've already defined this as equal to 1, while the other side of the equation is still telling us it's equal to 2. So 1 equals 2. Oddly enough, that's not necessarily wrong. It's just not true in our normal world of numbers. Dividing by 0 in the most obvious way doesn't work out so great.
I now request students from grades 7 and 8 who are participating in the quiz to please come up on the stage. I request everyone to please maintain silence. For this round, each house is represented by 2 students, one from each grade, forming a team that will battle across 3 exciting rounds. Let's begin by inviting our participants to introduce themselves. Please mention your name, your class, and the house you're representing.
My name is Nadia Rikhi. I'm from class 7 Edison from Nalanda.
I'm Pranusha from class 8. I'm Pratish Gupta from 8A.
My name is Namya from 7 Edison, representing.
My name is Prav Noor from 7 Edison.
I'm Kovid Agarwal from 8A.
I'm Arush Walia from 8C.
I'm Advait Jain from 7 Arya Bhatta.
The quiz contains 3 rounds. First is the multiple choice round, the second is the buzzer round, and finally we have the rapid fire round. Can we please have the slide for the multiple choice round? The instructions for this round is as follows. Each house will be asked 2 questions. Each correct answer carries 2 marks. 45 seconds will be given per question. Once an answer is given, it cannot be changed, and there is no negative marking in this round. Can we please have the questions for round 1? So the first question is, choose the answer without using a calculator. If you multiply together the following numbers 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15, how many zeros are at the end of the product? Option A 1, B 3, C 4 or D 2?
C4.
That is the incorrect answer. The correct answer is D 2. Moving on to the next question. A recipe requires flour and sugar in the ratio 3:2. If 450 grams of flour is used, how much sugar is needed? Option A 250 grams, B 280 grams, C 300 grams or D 320 grams?
C 300 grams.
That is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. A cylinder has radius 7 centimeters and height 10 centimeters. Then the volume of a cylinder is A 1540 centimeter cube, B 1078 centimeter cube, C 3080 centimeter cube or D 2200 centimeter cube?
B 1078 centimeter cube.
That is the incorrect answer. The correct answer is option A. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following transformations preserves both shape and size? Option A, enlargement with scale factor 2, B, reflection, C, stretch, or D, shear?
Option B, reflection.
That is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question for Nalanda House. Which of the following represents the solution to 3x plus 3 is less than equal to 27? Option A, x is less than equal to 7. B, x is less than equal to minus 7. C, x is less than equal to 9. Or D, x is less than equal to 8.
Option D.
Can you speak out the full answer?
X is equal to or lesser than 8.
That is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. In a right angle triangle, one leg is 2 centimeters and another leg is root 12 centimeters. What is the length of the hypotenuse? A, 4 centimeters, B, 2 root 2 centimeters, C, 2 root 5 centimeters, or D, root 20 centimeters?
A, 4 centimeters.
That is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. Solve for x. X square minus 5x plus 6 is equals to 0. Option A, minus 3 and minus 2. B, 3 and minus 2. C, 3 and 2. Or D, minus 3 and 2.
C, 3 and 2.
That is the correct answer. Moving on to the last question for this round. The heights of two similar statues are in the ratio 4:7. If the smaller statue is 2.8 meters tall, find the height of the larger statue. Option A, 6.9 meters, B, 7.5 meters, C, 8.4 meters, or D, 4.9 meters.
Option D, 4.9 meters.
That is the correct answer. We now move on to the second round, which is the buzzer round. The instructions for the same are as follows. The house that presses the buzzer first will get a chance to answer. Each correct answer carries 2 marks. After pressing the buzzer, your answer must be given immediately. Wrong answers or failure to answer after buzzing will result in a deduction of -1. Can we please have the first question for this round? At a zoo, there are penguins and huskies next to each other. In all, 72 creatures and 200 legs. How many penguins are there? We'll be moving on to the next question. First, can we please have the answer for this question? Moving on to the next question. In a pattern of matchsticks, 1 square needs 4 matchsticks, 2 squares need 7 matchsticks, and 3 squares need 10 matchsticks. How many matchsticks will 10 squares need? Taxila?
31.
That is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. At how many points does a cubic graph cross the x-axis? Shaxila? That is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. Find the missing number. Gandhara?
4.
That is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. January 1, 2007 was Monday. What day of week lies on January 1, 2008? Vikramshila?
Tuesday.
That is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. A clock on the wall falls to the floor and the face breaks into 3 pieces. The digits on each piece of clock add up to the same total. What are the digits on each piece?
$25.
That is the incorrect answer. There will be a deduction of -1 because of the incorrect answer. Moving on to the next question. Raj is twice as old as his little sister and half as old as his father. After 50 years from now, his sister will be half their father's age. What is Raj's age now? Can we please have the answer for this question? Moving on to the last question for this round. Mr. Deepak Mohan walks 5 kilometers towards the south and then turns to the right. After walking 3 kilometers, he turns to the left and walks 5 kilometers. What direction is he facing right now?
South.
That is the correct answer. We now move on to the final round, that is the rapid fire round. The instructions for this round are as follows. Each team will be given 1 minute to answer as many questions as possible. Each correct answer carries 2 marks. There is no negative marking. Please note that if you don't know the answer, you may say pass to move to the next question. I'll repeat myself. If you do not know the answer, you may say pass to move to the next question. Can we please have the first set of questions for House Nalanda? The number of sides.
10.
Second, cube root of 2197 is?
Pass.
If a price of 200 is increased by 20%, then the multiplier is?
Pass.
In y is equals to x upon 4 minus m, make x a subject.
X is equal to m plus 4.
HCF of 36, 84, 90 is?
Pass. For third it is 1.2.
Nalanda House had 2 correct answers. Can we please have the answers? Moving on to the next set of questions for House Vikramshila. Determine the missing number in the series 4, 7, 10, 13, 16.
$19 for the first one.
Square root of 361
Pass.
is?
For the
200
third
raised
one
to
it
the
is
power
1.
of 0 is?
1.
0.004739 rounded to 3 significant figures is?
0.00474.
Minus 110 divided by 0.01 is?
Minus 11000. Minus 11,000.
Vikramshila had 4 correct answers. Moving on to the next set of questions for Taxila. If the angles of a triangle are in the ratio 5 is to 6 is to 7, find the greatest angle.
70.
In a mathematics quiz, a student randomly guesses one answer out of 4 choices. What is the probability that the student guesses correctly?
1 by 4.
If 216 is the volume of a cube, then the side of the cube is?
6.
Sum of all the sides of any closed polygon is known as its?
Perimeter.
What is the probability of drawing a red card from a standard deck of 52 playing cards?
1 over 2.
Taxila had all correct answers. Moving to the last set of questions for Gandhara. Find the missing value.
into 15 into
Which prime number is closest to 70?
Pass.
What number is m in alphabets?
13.
If gradient is 2 and y-intercept is -3, then the equation of line is?
Pass.
Multiply 180 by 1 by 5.
$36. Could we answer the first one again? 225.
Gandhara had 3 correct answers. Can we please have a look at the scores for this round?
So by the end of this round, Nalanda has got 6 points, right? Then Vikramshila has got 13 points, Taxila has got 16 points, and Gandhara's with 14 points.
I request all the participants to please seat themselves in the auditorium. Journey, I now take the pleasure of inviting Ms. Gaganjot to announce the final results.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, a loud round of applause for all the audience, patient audience. You've been a fantastic audience, and of course, now I would like to give it to the participants. I think each one of you did a fantastic job. I mean, you participated very well. And the overall result for today, the first position goes to Vikramshila with 29 points. Second position has been bagged by 2 houses. The share, that is Nalanda and Taxila with 24 points. And third position is Gandhara with 20 points. I would request all the participants to come up on the stage. Thank you.
So the name, all the staff वगैरह की जो line.
Arpita ma'am and वो sir also sir for the technical support.
वो इसी में included हम सारे कोई कर रहा है organizing team support staff. नाम कौन से अर्पिता मैम है. अर्पिता मैम and
अर्पिता मैम और वो सर अपने
मनोज सर तो नहीं आशीष मनोज सर. अच्छा आशीष सर.
हाँ वो कौन है?
जो वहाँ बैठे हैं कैब के पास. Let's have a big round of applause for all our participants once again. You've shown incredible talent, teamwork, and a love for learning. I would also like to thank our teachers, organizing team, and support staff for making this quiz a success. And a special thanks to Arpita ma'am and Ashish sir for conducting this quiz.